Established in 2007, the National Small Business Chamber is the driving force that is behind the small business growth in the country. And this fosters sustainability and growth of the sector, at the same time contributing to job creation. The CEO of the Chamber is Mike Anderson, who joins us on the show to talk about entrepreneurship as well as the support that the Chamber gives the established SMEs in the country. Mike, pleasure to have you with us.
Good to see you, Tim.
And
thank you very much.
Much appreciated that you could make time to be with us.
Thank you very much.
Eddie, I wanted to clarify, the difference between yourself and the other chambers of commerce that exist in the country. What is the big difference?
Tim, what's important is that every organization that makes a difference has an important role to play.
Yeah.
The National Small Business Chamber is focused on small business. That's our passion. That's what we do every day, all day, to understand the challenges, the needs, the wants, to change policies, so small businesses can thrive and prosper, hence job creation.
Right.
The very reason why we exist is job creation through small business.
So, who are your members then?
Members are typically SMEs. We classify a small business as under 100 employees. So any business that has an employee base of under 100 employees has the ability to become part of our organization and join as a member of the organization.
And what's the point of the chamber itself? If you join, what will the point be?
Very importantly, every year we do a survey called the National Small Business Survey, the largest surveys of its kind. On the survey, we understand the challenges, the needs, the wants of small business sector. We turn these into benefits. So basically we understand the challenges and we turn them into benefits. So as a member, they have the ability to grow, to network, to connect, to be inspired, to have fun, and of course, stay in business and build their business.
Now, in terms of the transformation of the economy and concerns about creation of employment, growth and so forth, I never hear your issues being addressed as the National Small Business Chamber. And I want you to identify what the key challenges are anyway that face small businesses in the country. Why is it in the scheme of things, in the bigger discussions on economic growth and transformation, that you never refer to or you're made part of that?
Tim, a great deal of activity throughout the day is talking to people like yourselves and to help us in our quest. And of course, now Small Business Friday just been passed. We had a big role to play. We trended. And of course, the activity from our members is enormous throughout South Africa. And we receive over 15,000 letters and emails and votes of thanks throughout the week. We're engaging at the moment with the Department of Small Business Development. We work closely with the DTI, historically with CEDAW, and very importantly, Big Business South Africa is very much involved with us. If you look at our partners of the organization, which represents the cream of big business. So big business, government, and of course, Small Business South Africa have a collective major role to play within the organization.
Personally, I am concerned, and it's based on some of the information I've read, that small businesses are the ones that create employment and that all of the big companies listed on the stock exchange, for instance, trillions of rands that are invested in them, contribute only 10% of employment in the nation, right? 90% comes from everybody else, except from the guys who get too much money. Well, maybe they deserve it because of the size and what they produce. But a lot of money invested in big businesses that are on the stock exchange, the ones that are not creating employment. So my question then is, what kind of support or where do we come short as a nation to make sure that small businesses grow and then can create the employment that we want?
And like you said, Tim, small business is the mainstay of our economy. It's the future of job creation. 2/3 of our working force work in a small business. So we need to understand collectively that we all have to make that difference to keep that sector alive. To encourage and promote entrepreneurship as a viable career option. And then once these entrepreneurs, these aspiring entrepreneurs become entrepreneurs, create an environment for small business to flourish. And if you look at countries like the US right now, 36, to give an idea, 36% of the employers are women. In South Africa, it's 23%. But 7 years ago, it was 14%. So we can see a change in this. So we're playing a major role in that aspect of promoting entrepreneurship for the unemployed, for the retrenched, for the school leavers. There's only so many jobs. And we need to also encourage a mindset change that we can think beyond a job. We can create our own job through that change. So yes, more effort has to be played towards government, towards big business, towards the supplier controls, towards the Labour Act, towards tax concessions for small business. And I think that's important to us. We're on this massive drive now where everyone can play a role. When someone starts a business, Tim, we need to make sure that that person gets through the first 1,000 days.
Yes.
Because once that person reaches the first 1,000 days, the critical period, then they're part of mainstream. Whether it's tax concessions, whether it's labour concessions, or whatever the reason is, we need to create an environment for small business to flourish.
So
and that's our mission of the future.
Making sure that at least they survive the first 1,000 days.
Correct.
You could call it whatever, 1,000-day project support.
Correct.
And,
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Tax holidays or any particular support that they need.
And I don't think enough has been done collectively to enable, to create an enabling environment to enable small businesses to stay in the system.
All right. Let's be partners now for the next few minutes, all right? You tell me, what do we need to do? Because our viewers are watching, just so we can all think together. Okay. That this is where we are, what is the nature of small business in our nation, what is it that we should be doing, and how do we get there? Just talk me through that.
Yes. First of all, if you look at our recent initiative, Small Business Friday, title sponsors Nedbank, of course, for the last 5 years. Now, Small Business Friday is to mobilize the nation to support local small businesses.
Yes.
If we can all go out there and support our local small businesses, these small businesses' infrastructures will grow, they'll employ more from the local communities, hence meaningful job creation and nation building. So that's the first thing that we can ask the nation, is to go out there and start supporting local small businesses as the key aspect of our daily lives. In that way, small business wins, the government wins, big business wins, and the economy wins. That's the primary reason of why
you talk about 1,000 days. What is challenging about the first 1,000 days for any business, so that somebody who started must know to that and maybe learn something on how they can keep their head afloat until beyond 1,000? Tell me.
There's two areas. First of all, becoming an entrepreneur is not a natural talent. We need to understand that not everybody has the ability to be an entrepreneur. First of all, we have to understand the challenge. We have to persevere. We have to persist. We have to be passionate. We have to love what we do. We have to surround ourselves with the people, soar with the eagles that fly. So all the issues that we can control, we cannot control the outside world, but we can control ourselves as the number one criteria. Then we have to understand the business challenges. Now, we know in the last 3 years, the three challenges that came out the most is, first of all, is the inability for a business to build a customer base and boost top line. The business owner needs to be the rainmaker in that business. They need to go out there and secure clients, to secure funding from that side. So from that side, that's the number one challenge. The second one is the access to funding. Okay, we need to also understand that it's not that easy to access funding. We cannot always go into business hoping that we're going to have startup capital funded towards us. So that's the second challenge. The third challenge is using the right technology to grow our business. So those are the top three challenges, and if we can understand those three challenges before we start, coupled with the innate characteristics that we need to have to go beyond the norm.
Well, let's go back to the characteristics, because sometimes, when you are still contemplating starting a business, you only look at the upside and say there's a lot of money to be made. These guys drive fancy cars, look at mine. And but it takes much more than that.
Absolutely.
I mean, what are the particular attributes really that will help you if you want to start a business, which you have to develop if you don't have any?
Yes, of course. First of all, you have to believe in yourself. And that's very important. Self-belief creates self-confidence. So that's the first thing we have to do. We have to find something that's passionate about. We have to love what we do. Because if you love what you do, you never have to work another day in your life. So passion allows us to be persistent. We've got to be persistent. We've got to have the perseverance, and we've got to have that passion. Another key area is that if we keep moving, Tim, if we keep moving and we never give up, we will always arrive at where we want to be, no matter what. The other very important aspect is that we've got to challenge the status quo. We've got to think differently. We've got to do differently. We've got to swim upstream. We've got to cross the road differently. So we've got to think differently. And I think the number one problem with a lot of people why they don't start a business is the fear of failure. We have to take action and do it. The conditions are never going to be perfect, but we have to take action. So if we want to do something, we have to start doing it. And that's very important. And then, of course, the other areas, we can't take no for an answer. We have to surround ourselves with the right people, the right professionals, the right advice. And those are key elements. I write a book every year called Never Surrender. It's based on these qualities. These are the kind of qualities that the world's greatest entrepreneurs have adopted, going from zero to hero.
What more can I say? I
Yes, of
think
course.
I think we have to talk some more.
Yes, thank you very much, Tim.
I think so. And we've got to hang in there. Willpower, one of the most important attributes, and it manifests itself in the way that. And there's never a perfect day for it.
Sure, absolutely.
Never
Tim.
a perfect day. So
Absolutely.
every day is a perfect day to go out there and run a successful business, isn't
Absolutely.
it? Thanks very much,
Thank you
Mike.
very much, Tim.
Much appreciated.
All the best to you.
All right, well, that's the story. And for those who want to join, Mike, I didn't ask the question. If you want to join National Small Business Chamber.
Very importantly, nspc.org.za.
Okay.
Our website is there. There's
Yeah.
free membership.
Yeah.
And of course, your viewers are welcome to come on board.